Hey guys, this is Cindy Presgraves with Real Estate Divorce Single Parent, and today I am going to talk about lead generation. Okay, so a lot of people say, hey, I don't know how to get leads. And like the worst mistake they actually do with um in the real estate, and this would be actually in any real estate, in any industry, it could be business, it doesn't matter what business you are, is buying leads. That's the first mistake you're doing. You're spending money on getting, leads that it might not even get anywhere. And sometimes it is a waste of money because they will take advantage of you left and right. The other day I had this guy, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, you know what? I saw that you got a lead from a gamer. And I'm like, didn't you ever think about getting, like, if you are a gamer, for example, and you might be and you might not be, but think about this. How many people go ahead after work, play games? Like, it doesn't matter. They're like, hey, you know what? Do I really want to play games? They want to release stress. But if you are a gamer, for instance, you can actually go ahead and say, hey, just start, you guys get in groups, especially like Streamline, let's say, I can't think of a game right now. Okay, Call of Duty. You got Call of Duty. You got what is the other one? It was something about warfare. Is it Call of Duty? Anyways, games in general, online, Final Fantasy, RPG games, you name it, you got it. But what are you actually doing in the back end? You are talking to people. So regardless of what it is or what you're doing, you actually are communicating. And what is the best way of actually gaining more business? You are letting other people getting to know you, right? So for instance, if you're a gamer and you are in the real estate business or you are in the lending business, I've seen a lot of gamers that, they do pretty awesome. But people, think about this. If you're playing games, who are the people that are in the background after 5 p.m.? It's somewhere, it's 5 p.m. Okay. In the weekends, yes. I mean, these people are playing sometimes till like 1 or 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes they don't even go to bed. But I mean, I'm just saying, you got military, you got pilots, you got doctors, you got I mean, it's the world's your oyster with this one. I mean, you got all genders. And yes, you also have little kids too. But where can you get more information? Because you're connecting with them already. You're like, hey, you know what? Oh yeah. By the way, oh, what are you doing tonight? Oh, you know what? This is just like so boring. My mom, my dad are, you know what? I'm moving out or I have to find a place. Hey, if you're a lender, hey, let me just get you pre-approved. Send me your contact information. You guys friend each other all the time on PlayStation 5, on PS, it doesn't matter. PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, you guys become friends. Why not mention and utilize that to your advantage? Okay, another way of, talking to people and communicating with people is online. Okay, if you're always putting like out there, like, hey, buy a house from me or buy this, buy that. No, what are the advantages? Educate your clients on whatever it is. You want to, okay, for instance, the interest rates. I was looking at a video that I did a few days ago on TikTok, and there's this TikToker, no, actually it was Instagram. So I'm actually trying to increase my Instagram algorithm and all that. So I saw that interest rates, somebody called me and I'm like, okay, so people think that the market's going to crash. And I'm not going to go ahead and do that. It's not about the market crashing, but let me just go ahead and educate them that this is not the market that is going to happen. That back in 2008, there were no regulations. Joe Schmo from the street could actually get a house, right? Now you actually have to probably give your DNA and be like, okay, can I get a house or not? Am I pre-approved? No funds. Where are those funds coming from? Oh gosh, did I get that as a gift? Look, I had a client. This is back in 2019. I remember this, that this kid, he was selling his shoes and he wanted to do it through Cash App, right? And Venmo. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Nope. If you're going to sell it, you're going to sell it, but it has to have an invoice. It has to be tracked back. So that's one of the reasons that in this industry, you're not, I mean, it's not going to happen. Right now, inventory is so freaking low that, yes, you know, there is a high demand, but because there's not that many houses. So, but interest rates are increasing. The other day, I made a video of utilizing two stuffed animals, a little one and a big one. So which one did you want it? And it was with little kids. In my case, I have little kids. I'm surrounded by kids, and I love giving that information because they ask me questions. And sometimes you actually have, and this is going to sound awful, but this is going to, you want to educate your clients in the way of how can I go ahead and make them understand, educate them in so many ways. And you want to completely do that because sometimes they cannot see it. But once you present it in a different way, different perspective, then they'll actually realize the different situations and how can they help you completely, right? And that is really, really important. And in my case, I like to talk. So I like to talk. I like to entertain and all that. And I love to educate because I'm passionate. When you're passionate about something, you can talk about it any ways, different ways, what you learn. And, it's really important. Give me a second here. I'm so sorry. I usually do my podcast like during the night. And in this case, for me, it's really important that knowledge gets out there. In a another example that I actually recently learned. Okay, so if a client didn't buy a house with you, or it doesn't matter if they didn't use you for a specific service or a service, a house, it doesn't matter what industry. Keep in mind to always keep like keep in touch with them, talk to them, see how they're doing, check in on them. So back in April 2020, this client, he actually registered my website, and I had been like constantly like in contact with him, in touch with him. He bought a house straight from the builder. He didn't use me. That's okay. So comes in December 2020, he actually closes his house. A few weeks ago, I still kept on sending him like, hey, how you doing? Keep on following up. He contacted me, and I'm listing his house. So it's always keeping people in mind. And like, it doesn't matter. Don't get an attitude if they don't use you. Don't get discouraged, because you know what? As long as you follow up with them, you're going to be on top of mind. Send them note cards. Follow up is so important regardless if they did business with you or not. Hey, just checking in my case would be, hey, this is Cindy Presgraves. I just want to check in. How are you doing? How are the kids? Hey, what are you up to? Like, I mean, I love sending text messages. I love sending video text messages. I love sending video emails, and that is really important. But at the same time, there's many ways of actually. Okay, so what if they don't answer a call? Okay, well, add them on social media. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. You want to be on top of mind, but at the same time, you want to create that relationship. Yes, it might sound a little bit stalkerish, but what do you do when you actually want to find out a little bit more about people? You know what? You just search them online. You go through social media. I mean, who doesn't have social media? Yes, I have heard some people don't have social media, which is kind of weird. I mean, if not, they do have social media, but they never post. So there's so many things that you're like, wait, is this really true or not? But hey, and some people, they love to receive notes. When was the last time you actually received a note card from a client? Or that's like, so I was, it's like so impactful about having a handwritten note. And I have a few of them here. Oh, so this is my note card that I send, and I like to send it with my colors, because that way I go ahead and have them, they look at me like, oh, you know what, did I, oh yeah, that's Cindy, oh, that's so sweet, oh wait, who is this? And I always send them with my card, inside, even though they know that I who I am. Because I like to change my brand all the time, or just update my picture. And what I also like to do is send them a postcard, you know, because it actually reminds them of me on a monthly basis. And that is actually to my past clients. Anybody that I actually have like their phone number, address, I like to send them that on a monthly basis because that keeps me on top of mind. And that's what you want to do with your clients. So now going back to leads, educate them, do videos. Videos are so important. And be like, but I am not in my comfort zone. This is totally out of my comfort zone. Yes, and who's going to judge you? You're judging yourself completely. So it's funny because I'm part of this TV show called Agents on Fire, and so we all came in like, oh, you know what, this is yeah, we're looking at Agents of Fire, we're looking at the commercial, the sneak peek. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So we were all judging ourselves, and everybody was like, oh no, you look amazing. Yeah, me looking amazing. I feel like I look like a bimbo, and I'm like, do I really look a bimbo? And everybody's like, no, I wish I could look like you because you look like glamour. And I'm like, geez. I'm like, um but keep in mind, we always judge ourselves, and we don't want to do that. So who cares? I mean, if you're doing a video, and if you look at some of my past videos, I don't care. Now I come in, sometimes I take videos in my PJs, sometimes I take videos in my workout clothes. It doesn't matter. It's all, what's going to depend is what's going to count is the content, regardless of how you look. People don't look at, well, yeah, they're going to look at like, oh, she looks silly, but that's going to be the authentic self of yourself. People are going to be like, oh, you know what? That's awesome. I feel like I know you're ready. So it's funny. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with some people that I've never met. They've actually followed up with me on social media. They emailed me and all that. I'm like, okay, let's just meet in person. And when they met me and I met them, I felt like I knew them from a long time because of that video connection. So imagine if you actually did that every single day, at least one post a day, and with like, hey guys, how you doing? This is Cindy Presgraves and all that. But I just want to go ahead and see how can I help you? Or, you know what? Hey, look at this thing. Like today I made a video on basements. I have no idea about basements at all, but it is actually something that I love. I'm passionate about the housing industry, the real estate industry. But do you think I know anything about basements? I was with a builder today and I was like, oh, okay. So this is the something ceiling, and you need to drop the ceiling if I wanted to actually put an HVAC. But there's options. Did you know that? Did I know that? No, I just learned it. But hey, you know what? I just made a quick video because who knows about who needs that information. Sometimes you'll be like, oh wait, a mini split. That would be an amazing idea. So now my question is, what are the alternatives that I can do? So that is actually an option. Mini split. But do I actually want to go ahead and lower my ceilings? No, I want to have high ceilings. See how you get there? But then when people look at that video, be like, wait, Cindy posted that video. Let me look at it. Let me go back to her social media. Oh, see, you're on top of mind there. And then they'll call you, hey, remember that video? Okay, so another little tip here is if you actually go ahead with a mini split, because mini splits, you can actually take whatever, and sometimes you're going to have to put one or two depending on how big the space is, because they'll calculate that on square footage. If it's going to cool, it's going to heat. And you know what? Do you really want to go through all that? Plus, you're going to have to pay much more just because you got to bring a carpenter and probably more people in there to fix things and all that. So yeah, that's actually, I don't know anything about building, by the way, but it is actually something that it is nice to know, because even though it's not something that you need right now, but probably in the future, be like, oh, that would be awesome. And I'm like, that would be a great idea. But, there's things that pop into like situations like, hey, you know what, by the way, if you are buying a house, or selling a house, make sure that you always have a will. You never know what might happen. In the past couple months, I've had clients that have passed away, and it's not an easy situation. But when you're actually selling a house, you're buying a house, you're working with different scenarios here. You're working with death, you're working with divorce, you're working with first time home buyers, you're working with, there's so many cases, investors, not investors. You're working with people that tell you, hey, just tell me what I need, tell me the house that you want and I'll buy it, but I'm not living in the house. No, I trust your judgment. Okay, let's do this then. Whatever you say, that's okay. I've had that. So people trust you because you are the person of your industry, depending on, doesn't matter. So I just wanted to let you guys know also, I met this, I went to the EMP. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, for those who are listening right now, I understand. So it is EMP X conference, and that was in Atlanta, and I met amazing people this past weekend, and some of them were like, hey, you know what, why don't you if you're looking for leads and you don't want to pay leads, just go to the mall and hand out cards. You'd be like, that's just so stupid. No, it's not. How do you get yourself out there? If you don't have money to start a business, right? You got in real estate. Once you start in real estate, believe me, you're going to be paying a lot of fees. Believe me, you are. But if you want to start, free leads, you're getting yourself out there, you're a go-getter, you're a hustler, there's different alternatives. That's the way to start. Just giving out cards. That's how you start. That's how you meet people. Not only that, I mean, networking events, they're awesome too. They're amazing, connecting with other people. So that's a few ways. I mean, when I started in real estate, I kept on doing cards, handwritten notes, and that helped me a lot because I didn't know anybody in this area. And social media, I was a little bit shy in social media because I didn't have that much confidence. Yes, I didn't have any confidence, by the way, I know, but that actually helped me. So I hope you guys like this podcast today about talking about lead generation. Just think outside the box, and don't ever think about that you're being silly, it's ridiculous. Of course not. It is not. I mean, I can give you so many other ways of having leads, and going through the phone book, going through expires, going through FISBOs. Be like, but no, everybody else is doing. If you think that way, you're not in the right mindset. So I just want to leave you guys with that. This is Cindy Presgraves with Cindy's Realty Group by EXP, and I hope you guys enjoy.